come to pay your respects, traveler. I must say, you are nearly as devoted as an Inazuma native. I think it's quite adorable that you would be so taken by our great Raiden Shogun as to offer frequent worship. Tell me, do you make quite so many offerings in the other nations you visit? Or has the land of eternity uniquely captured your heart? You may say it is for exploration's sake, but I think your body tells a different story. Surely a veteran explorer such as yourself would know better than to push their body to its limits just to gain access to more areas. How do you plan on exploring beyond those electro barriers if you're about to collapse right here beneath my spirit gate? Oh my, aren't you a forward little thing? To come all the way up my mountain and then ask to share my bed. Well, of course there aren't any guest rooms, little one. What a silly notion. This is a temple, not an estate. If you really want such hospitalities, you can always leap off this mountain and use your quaint little glider to land at the Kamisato doorstep. I'm sure that little rascal and his doting sister would be happy to have you for dinner. Oh, but you do look pitiful. I'm not so sure you have the stamina to survive such a flight. We wouldn't want to take risks with your health now, would we? Now that I've seen what a mess you are, I can't in good conscience let you teleport out into the world, and it would be simply irresponsible of me to let you tuck away in that marvelous little teapot of yours. What if a Hilichurl were to come across it and decide your home made the perfect target practice? No, I'll simply have to go out of my way to ensure your safety. It is a great hardship, you're right. But if you're so remorseful, I've thought of the perfect way you can repay me. Come, I won't hear another word of protest. Sit with me on the steps to the sacred Sakura. You can rest beneath its floating petals even as you earn my favor. It's quite simple, really. Given the late hour, many of our shrine maidens have taken to their beds. As Lady Guji, I am naturally tasked with protecting our beautiful shrine in the meantime. But wouldn't you know it, there is a distinct lack of peril to ward away. It's a good thing, of course, with the little humans growing so bold as to face the wrath of both myself and A. It would be a portent of great civil unrest. Even during all that fuss with the Sukoku decree, no one was stupid enough to bring their fighting to Mount Yougou. But alas, a lack of conflict makes for a terribly boring story. I would normally read through submissions at this hour, but every manuscript that's passed through lately has been reiterative and predictable. No one is writing any new ideas anymore, and it seems it will be a while yet before we get an update on A Legend of Sword. I am so painfully bored. That is where you come in, little one. If you are so keen on resting your head and seeing the inner sanctuaries of the Grand Narukami Shrine, I propose a game. Entertain me, and I shall grant your wish. Fret not, fret not. You won't even have to move. It's as simple as having a conversation, really. Though, do try to keep your voice down. Sound carries quite well between the buildings here. All you have to do is answer a few riddles for me. Oh, don't look so worried. You're pretty clever. I hear you've solved many of the ancestral puzzles left all around Inazuma. Surely a few simple word games shouldn't be a problem for you. I'll even start with an easy one. Are you ready? Good. So then, what is more useful when it is broken? A hint already? It really isn't that hard, little one. You're quite familiar with this item, in fact. It seems to be your go-to first aid tool. An egg, correct. Though whether or not a broken egg truly is useful depends on your point of view, I should think. Imagine being a mother bird, for example, or the merchant in charge of transporting and selling those eggs. In the end, a broken egg is no different from a half-filled glass. Now, I already said you got it right. There's no need to get so invested in the nuances now. Let's try another, shall we? How about this one? What belongs to you, but is used more by other people? Well, perhaps this one doesn't quite apply to you. Many across Teyvat do have an interesting habit regarding this particular thing of yours, but I'll say no more. Is that your answer? Are you sure? Your name. At least, that is the answer to the riddle. But we are all so fond of calling you the Traveler, aren't we? I think that's half the fun of riddle games. Though they have set answers, they're never as concrete as they might seem. When someone comes up with an answer that is no less true, and yet not the one that is expected, that makes for great entertainment. Here is another. What can run, but never walks? Has a mouth, but never talks? Has a head, but never weeps? Has a bed, but never sleeps? Slower. All right. What can run, but never walks? Can run, but never walks. It has a mouth, but never talks. Can run, but never walks. Has a mouth, but never talks. Has a head, but never weeps. A head, but never weeps. Has a bed, but never sleeps. A head never weeps, a bed never sleeps. Oh, perhaps you do fit the latter, but I'm afraid you've forgotten the start. What can run, but never walks? Has a mouth, but never talks? Both may be rare for you, but I've seen them happen now and then. So, put it all together and try again. What can run, but never walks? Has a mouth, but never talks? Has a head, but never weeps? Has a bed, but never sleeps? Have you thought of it yet? A river. Rivers run from the riverhead to the mouth, where they pour out into the ocean or a lake. and all the mud underneath is the riverbed, where a plethora of interesting creatures make their home. I thought it was quite simple. Certainly simpler than my final riddle. If you want that bad, you'll have to try harder than this. Are you ready? What 8-letter word can have one letter taken away at a time and still be a real word each time, all the way to the end? Oh, just look at your face. You don't even know where to start, do you, little one? Oh, but you're trying so hard. How precious. Yes, I should think you need a hint. Well, this one word reduces down to 8 words in total, so how about this? Once you've taken away 4 letters, the word you'll get is sing. Does that help? You look positively miserable. Shall I hold your hand a little more then? All right. Another one of the words this 8-letter word makes is string. Can you figure it out now? Let's walk it backwards, shall we? What do you think the final word is once you've taken away all but one letter from sing or string? I. Correct. Now, can you figure out the 2-letter word? In. See, this isn't so hard. What's number 3? Sin. We know, of course, that sing comes next, but what's between sing and string? Sting. Very good. Patronizing you? Oh, of course not, little one. It's all just a little word game, isn't it? Now, what can we add to string? You're so close. You don't want to give up now, do you? What can we add to string? String, string, string. Well, we certainly have a lot of consonants here. Perhaps a vowel? String, string, string. Starring. Well done. Now I'm sure you can figure out the final word, the one that began this whole game. Starting. See, you're more capable than you thought, aren't you? Oh, but you really do look ready to fall asleep in my lap now. We can't have that. I much prefer being able to wander around as I please. Come along then. I'll bring you to the spare futon. What? Of course not. I never said I would share my bed, only that you were asking for it. Why ever would I give up my lovely nest when our former maiden, Kuki Shinobu, left behind a perfectly usable and still vacant futon when she resigned? Come now, don't be silly. Let's get you to sleep.